There's this controversial pastor. I think you always see her on social media. She's an SDA pastor called Pastor Mokoro. Now, anytime she gets on the podium and starts preaching, some way the conversation is just going to shift into a very uncomfortable and taboo topic. Most of us are very uncomfortable with the things she talks about. She mostly delves into marriage content. She is very hard and harsh. Sometimes there's a bit of misogyny that is laced in her content, but at the same time, it is true. Sometimes she says, true things. Sometimes she's very extreme. And because of her very interesting take on a lot of things and actually using the podium and her platform as a minister of the word to spread all of this, the SDA community, or rather the leaders, were like, no way. So her and among other pastors were actually excommunicated. Yes, they were told, they were suspended from preaching across any platforms and associating themselves with SDA, and even in their churches no longer preach. But that came with a lot of outrage, especially on Twitter, because guys are like, hey, baby girl is always spitting the facts. She says the truth. Sometimes she goes a bit too far, but she does speak the truth. I don't know if you have a video, just so you see for yourself if it is true that she was being honored or if she does go a bit too far. Do you have video? Yeah, I think you guys just have to go and check her out on social media. So that's it. Have you heard her teachings?
It may have missed me, but here's the reality of things. Whenever you are an opinionated person in religion, regardless, or any other like super spiritual space, you will always find that it becomes very polarizing whenever you speak about things that are very pertinent, especially in religious sects and religious groups that are very keen on trying to keep things, kosher in their own way, for lack of better words. I think it becomes a very polarizing issue because you're trying to educate the new masses, the new generation, but at the same time there are these ties to the old ways in which things are done, and you have to continue with the code of conduct that has been dictated, the standard operating procedures. So it is very sad to actually see that even now religion is still trying to curtail and dictate what is right, what is wrong, as opposed to trying to educate people on things that are important. I think it is important to speak about sex education. I think it is important to speak about mental health and all of these other things that are regarding our state of mind. I think it is important to speak about the right forms of marriage and which way to treat people in marriage. It's important to speak about any form of abuse, because ultimately these are the things that plague us as individuals, and it is important for us to actually propagate that conversation and ensure that people understand it and they learn it early. If you're not being taught this at home, the best place to be taught this is in church, right? Or in any other form of public forum in which people are actually contained and a message is being passed across. So I am 100% a believer in speaking the truth. So yeah, that was probably a little too far. They went a little too far. But then again, it is the SDA church. They are very rigid about the way that they want to operate and the way that they want things to be done. So it could be that she's in the wrong church. She just needs to find a new place and a new avenue to be able to continue to propagate this messaging. At the end of the day, many religious forms have dissected and disseminated from one. It was once the Roman Catholic Church, Protestants came into being, and so on and so forth. So maybe this is her way of protesting. She may have a new religion on her hands. Who knows? Let's wait and see what happened.